Welcome to No Match for a Blaster, a Star Wars role-playing podcast, Season 2, Episode 3, A New Mission. I'm your host and kooky old puppet with a crane, Edo Davis. If you're new here, No Match for a Blaster is an actual play podcast featuring the Morality Plays crew playing the Star Wars role-playing system by Fantasy Flight Games. It's also time to thank our Blaster Heads of the Week, Liz Beatty, Chris Canfield, and Pineapple. At this level, Liz, Chris, and Pineapple get access to our exclusive Patreon feed to listen to our episodes days early. Thanks, you three. To be our next Blasterhead or Nerfer of the week, be sure to subscribe to us at Patreon, patreon.com/moralityplays. To make sure you don't miss any big updates, follow us on Facebook at No Match for a Blaster or on Twitter at No Match Podcast. So, break out your star number 2 pencils and spiral arm galaxy notebook as we return to the crew of the Atheon as they need to do some serious planning about the upcoming mission.
Open. Moff Spozak's intelligence log. The consolidation of the New Republic Defense Force upon the moon of Hoban is progressing steadily. General Sebastian Shaw has been officially recognized as the leader of the entirety of the New Republic's armed forces, and one of his first acts has been to assign the new Captain Remi Drobash to a reconnaissance mission against the First Order. Captain Drobash must infiltrate an enemy-controlled shipyard in order to retrieve vital intelligence from a crippled capital ship. Close intelligence log.
Yeah, welcome back to Season 2! So, where we left off, I believe our newest droid edition was looking out at the promotion of Commander Char up to, what was it? General Char. Remi was going over the mission details that he was given, and Camiya was talking to her mom. So we go to the next day, and so the problem you guys have in front of you, or the mission that Remi has in front of him, is that they want you guys to gather information from this damaged Star Destroyer that is currently docked and being repaired on at a civilian repair grand scale repair bay ship thing station.
I thought we were all like separated at the moment.
Yeah, and
unless
then I think
we like fast forwarded some time.
I think we're gonna then you all sleep, and then you guys can wake up, and then if you guys want, you can guys all meet up to start day drinking, which is standard for Hoban. And talk about stuff or anywhere you want. It's up to you guys. But so yeah.
Where's I guess S4 would be at the like getting repairs done and stuff, right? So he'd probably just be hanging around the base somewhere at like a
I believe
workshop.
At the moment S4M is trying to make himself useful by either spending time in the medical area if there's anybody that needs medical attention, or the maintenance area, because he's also a mechanic. Probably the maintenance area. I don't imagine there's too many wounded at the moment. Either fixing himself, or fixing other droids, or fixing machinery that needs fixing.
Yeah,
there's a lot of things that need fixing, or at least cleaning of dust out of them.
They gladly accept your assistance. There's a lot of dust on this planet.
A lot of dust. And
the New Republic Defense Force relies on a lot of repairing bits that have been damaged. That includes droids. They have a lot of maybe, really banged up equipment that could use a finer touch.
Yes. So I'm spending some time getting some of their damaged assets back up and operational, and memorizing or downloading new schematics so that I know what to do, because these droids are way more advanced than me.
So question. You'll notice that the New Public Defense Force does not implement restraining bolts, really. But They do, whenever they finish the maintenance system, they do tend to wipe the memory banks. Yeah. So I'm curious if you have any reaction or... Yeah. But that is happening underneath you if you help them out with this stuff.
No, I'll totally memory wipe droids.
All right, then. So, yeah. So, S4, that's where you can be. He can be in the quote-unquote like engineering bay, droid bay of the main Defense Force building.
Right, and so last time we kind of rescued him, or recruited him, I guess, right? Mm-hmm. At the old bunker thing. Mm-hmm. And... I mean, was it a given that he was just gonna like tag along with us? I don't know why I'm like struggling to remember it.
Well, his big goal, like he came out and he was like, "We have to stop him. We have to make sure he doesn't get to his ship. It's too late. We have to make sure he doesn't get off planet. It's too late. We have to make sure he doesn't assemble an army." Okay. So his goal, as far as a Sith Lord, is
the S-word Lord.
The S-word Lord. I apologize. Lord. Sorry for our younger audience.
We don't say.
we don't use the S-word.
Use that word.
You know that his goals are very much in line with yours, and he saved everyone's life. He actually might have saved yours twice, but he saved everyone's life that day, or helped you guys get away and stuff like that. As Edo, I might say you guys don't have a hacker or a mechanic anymore.
Right, and so we made...
Or a medic, for that matter.
Or a medic. Well, Brandon medics a bit, don't you?
A little field medicine. And so we kind of need his skill set in our to kind of fill that role on our team.
So the two of you are day drinking, and it turns out that I got a job as the bartender because I couldn't find any other work, and I just happened over here. Or no, I'm fixing the bartending droid.
Oh, we got a bartending droid. I was bartending, and then apparently left for smuggling, so they put a droid there.
Yeah, your bartending droid is an R3 unit, so there's a really big ramp, so it gets to chest height with the bar, and has little bitty arms.
Oh.
Yeah, we need a scene set up. So yeah, okay. So Remi wakes up, and so he's gonna go look for S4 in the droid bay. I mean, you and Camiya have comms. I don't think S4 has been given a comm yet.
Right. Okay. Lieutenant. Isn't it Lieutenant? That's you, Edo.
Lieutenant. Which lieutenant? Oh! The front desk person.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes. Hello?
I was looking for that, I was looking for the old droid that we brought in the other day for repairs. I heard he was lending a hand around here.
Oh, yes, he's been quite valuable. He's over in the robotics bay, helping out a lot. We barely get to process 2 or 3 droids, every week or so, and he's just been burning through it like crazy.
Good. That's just around the corner here, right?
Oh yeah, go up 3 levels and go all the way down the hall.
3 levels down the hall. Got it. Thanks. Yep. All right. So elevator music. Da, 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 da. Okay.
It's girl from Ipanema. Ipanema is a planet. Oh, I gotta write that down.
Right. So he walks into the robotics bay. There's various people welding and sparks flying, and a couple people programming, and droids and computers and wires and things, because they still hadn't figured out Wi-Fi for some reason.
There's a massive there's a pretty big like hot tub sized vat of oil that they're dipping droids into. It looks weird, but then they like it. It's fine.
They get a mood buff for
a
few days. Alright, so I scan the room and find S4 and head over to him.
S4 is sitting at a workbench with the head of an R3 unit, just the head. And he's got the head on. Its light is on, obviously it can't spin because it's just the head. And he's talking to it in binary, so it's and S4 spins his head around 180 because he's a droid and looks at the captain, Remi. Greetings, citizen.
How's it going, S4?
S4 continues to work even though his head is facing you. I am making progress.
Glad to hear it. Listen,
Do you require maintenance?
not that I'm aware of. I've got another situation, though. Got a mission that I think we might could use your help on. Could save a lot of lives, and,
Oh good, you will track the S-word lord down. Let us go.
not exactly, but I'm not saying we won't run into him either.
That is an interesting statement, citizen. Please explain.
Yeah, why don't you come with me? I'm supposed to be meeting Camiya over at the diner. Get some breakfast. We can go over the details then.
I do not require breakfast, citizen.
Right, the breakfast would be for me and Cammy.
I see. Why don't I finish up with this, and then I will meet you there. Which diner are you referring to?
Haha, you must name a diner.
The diner. It's the only diner.
It's the Nerf hut down at the end, in the corner. You can't miss it. It's like the only diner. It's kind of quarter to the Decanter Cantina.
Very well. I will meet you there, citizen.
Note for our listeners and players, the Nerf hut is spelt with H-U-T-T.
Yeah. Of course it is.
So it's the logo is a hut eating a Nerf hole.
Nom, 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 nom.
But very cartoony.
Yeah.
It's not nearly as horrific as it actually sounds.
Yeah, there's no gore or viscera.
It's like in Scooby Doo when they eat a whole 5-foot sandwich in one go. It's like that.
So do you? Are you gonna come, Camiya? Are you gonna go see her in person?
Yeah, we were gonna meet up. Yeah.
Okay. S4, are you gonna do anything before you go over there?
Yes, I'm going to finish working on this R3 unit.
Okay. A little bit of time passes. More dusk accumulates on everything on New Isley. Yeah. You get to the Nerf hut. What does a Nerf hut look like? What kind of... Is it a Denny's? Is it intergalactic house of pancakes?
I feel like there has to be something slightly different
Than pancakes?
It's a house of flapjacks because we're...
Because humans have invented dozens of words for fried bread.
Yes. IHOP.
Like it's got some metal, but also a lot of teals and pinks and stuff, So it's almost like a 50s or 60s diner,
50s
but
diner.
there's no such thing as that. So
Yeah.
There sure is on Coruscant, or at least there used to be.
it's got some round bar stools that you could sit up at the counter.
And there's tchotchkes all over the walls.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Little ceramic Nerfs and other little things like that. There's all pictures. There's pictures on the walls of
Famous Nerfs.
quote unquote famous people who have been there. It's all every mayor for the past 30 years is what it is.
Kissing a very dusty baby. Alright, after a little while, S4 can walk in while the two humans are consuming carbon.
So S4's motions are still slightly jerky.
Uh-huh.
I don't know, you might not be familiar with this, but droids didn't used to move as smoothly as they do now. The head motions are very jerky, and you can almost hear the whine of the servos when he turns his head. But just so you know, all of his movements are slightly jerky.
S4 pops and locks everywhere he goes.
Everywhere. He's got the robot down. Just...
Yes. While you were going from the Old Republic Defense Force headquarters to the Nerf hut, you were handed a mixtape. A mix hollow.
Oh dear.
On your way.
I
Rooster.
don't have anything to play it in, do I?
Rooster is pushing it hard. No, you are not. You are not compatible.
Equipped for that.
No, you are a mini disc player at best,
Yeah.
or maybe a Betamax.
Pre-Betamax.
Pre-Betamax. It's reel to reel recording device. So yeah, you walk in.
I see him and wave him over.
I wave back very jerkily, and I approach the table and sit down.
Hey, S4. How you doing?
Greetings, citizen. I want to imagine we're sitting in a booth.
Yeah.
The booth
Sure.
creaks
Yeah,
when S4 sits in it. S4 is heavy. You remember that now.
Yeah, it's old. It has little cracks in it in the vinyl. It's a vinyl booth.
Oh, yes. Space vinyl. Star vinyl.
Space vinyl.
Star vinyl.
The perceptive of you will notice that the amount that bench groans with S4 sitting down is more than a normal droid. You guys are very used to droids, right? For the most part, droids weigh I don't know, like a quarter more than a person of the same size. Not a goofy amount. The amount that it complains when he sits down is more than you would have expected.
They've also tried to move me before, I believe. So they may remember as soon as I creak the booth how heavy I actually am. You indicated, citizen, you had a task that needed accomplishing.
I got assigned this new mission from Commander Char. I'm sorry, General Char. Apparently the First Order has been using a civilian space station to make repairs to their fleet that was severely damaged recently. Just due to the sheer volume of repairs needed, they're also opened up the supply chain to anybody who can fill their needs, basically. I say using the space station. It's really more like they've commandeered the space station and are using it to make repairs. What General Char would like us to do is to somehow get into this space station and figure out just what exactly the First Order is planning. If possible, figure out what happened, find out any information we can about the people that was on the marathon. What happened to those people on the marathon? That's what we really need to figure out.
Okay. So we have to get to that ship, get in, get out with information.
Okay.
I have a couple questions.
Alright, go ahead.
Yeah.
Who has done this that we need to infiltrate, Captain?
What?
Who are we infiltrating? Or has it changed to whom in the last several thousand years?
I think it's who. We're infiltrating the First Order.
Okay. I have a follow-up question, Captain.
Go ahead.
Who is the First Order? Or what is the First Order?
Oh, this is great. I can't wait to hear y'all's explanation of what you guys think they are, who they are, and stuff.
Remi's a little bit more of an expert on that. But they popped up.
The First Order is a branch or splinter off of the Empire
Which one?
under Darth Sidious, who I'm guessing was after your time.
That seems likely. I have been reading as many data files as time permits. Darth Sidious.
They were kind of in.
The most recent Empire. That would make sense.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly what they want, no one is sure. Just like no one is positive who's leading them. But
They want to take over the Republic. They came out a month ago and blew up the 7 planets in the Hosnian system, one of which was holding the capital at the time.
Right. So it's a pretty safe bet to assume that they would like to reestablish the Galactic Empire.
Okay. I will have to do additional reading on this First Order. My second question is, what is the Marathon?
The Marathon was a transport ship that was taking refugees away from Hoban. They captured it and took a lot of people.
This First Order captured it?
Yeah.
They did not turn them into slaves?
We don't know what they did. They seem to be doing experiments on them.
What kind of experiments?
The kind that required chopping off limbs, I guess. We don't really know what they intended. That's
Were they
part of what we
attempting
want
to
to find out.
upgrade them with cybernetic implants?
I rather doubt it.
Oh.
That's kind of the point. We don't really know what they were doing with these people. And that's what we're trying to figure out.
Third question.
Or fourth for anyone who's actually keeping track.
Next question. Did you want me to accompany you?
Well, neither myself nor Cami is very good at computers and hacking. And seeing as we may come across a need to do that to get some of this information, it only seemed prudent to see if you would join us.
Certainly. Although I warn you, ignoring the S-word Lord is dangerous.
Right. Well,
I don't think we're ready to face the S-word Lord yet.
we don't have any leads on him at the moment either. And
Perhaps this First Order knows something.
they may. And they may either run afoul of each other at some point or decide to work together. So,
Oh, I sure hope run afoul.
From what you've told me so far, it's unlikely the S-word Lord would want to work with this First Order.
Why do you say that?
He has standards.
well, I hope you're right. If they teamed up, we would be in a lot of trouble.
We already are in a lot of trouble. But very well, I will accompany you and attempt to assist.
Thanks, S4.
Alright. The next thing is, I guess we need to come up with a plan. We could pose as people bringing in supplies, or we could also just try and stealth our way in.
Well, it's kind of hard to say, huh? Do we know anything about the kind of security they'll have there?
Once we get in, we'll still have to either find a place to hide our ship if you don't want to be seen, and then we still have to figure out how to get onto that destroyer. Whereas if we brought supplies in, we'd have a pretty good excuse to be there.
Then we have need of a cargo ship.
I think we have one in mind.
You're suggesting taking a Fury-class interceptor? I would advise against this, citizen.
That's the ship we have access to right now.
Why don't we use the Atheon to take a cargo ship, then?
We could do that. Can we at least bring them sabotage parts? Because I really don't like the idea of helping these guys fix their ships.
They normally have set distributors for their parts and things, but they've kind of opened it up due to such a great need. I think that's why taking the interceptor would be okay. It wouldn't be such a big deal because there's not just one type of ship that's bringing in supplies at the moment.
Yes, but we still would need the supplies. A Fury-class interceptor can only carry so much. Do we know what types of supplies they need? Or where we could acquire such supplies in order to pose as merchants?
So, so the information that you got about the space station, about the repair station, was that there were there was a New Republic Defense Force agent on board when all this was going on, and he got out of there, and he pulled as much information as he possibly could before he left. So yeah, you can.
I'm assuming the supply list would be in the brief, in the mission brief.
Yeah. There's some there.
I mean, that's all we need. That's all we need to say is that there's a list.
There is. There's a big list of a lot of things. Something that may be more helpful. Someone roll a mechanics like a mechanics roll, just to see.
Not me.
Because you have to kind of decipher. There might be some information you can kind of pull out for it. It's a massive list of things that they've been taking in.
Well, part of the mission brief does include a list of needed supplies.
Excellent. May I see them?
Sure.
Remi, you're completely authorized to allow someone else access to the thing you have, and he could actually interface with it if you want to, or he can just read it. It's up to you. Basically, if you let S4 interface with the thing, from now on he can just always have this information at hand. It's up to you though.
Yeah. Since he's going to be helping us out. He's going to be joining us on this mission, so that would probably be a benefit to us. So yeah, I'll let him interface with it.
He hands you the tablet, he unlocks it with his thumb, and then puts in a code. And then you, S4, you can pull out a dongle that the Defense Force gave to you as an adapter from your thing. It's actually 3 dongles because you're a few generations
years
back.
out of date.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it goes from serial port to parallel. You are able to interface with it and pull the briefing files.
Kinky.
So I've got 5 successes and 3. What was this one? Advantages. Yes.
Yeah. So
processing.
You do some cross. You compile a list of the kind of supplies that this repair station has always needed regularly. Is there any outliers, things that are unique, things that they need? And you find that there's a particular part that they have had a lot of demand for, and they're essentially buying up every single instance of it throughout the galaxy. And that is nano current relay conduits. These are kind of a particular type of ship, a way for a ship to relay power and information throughout it. It's much newer technology. This is all broken down, even though you're not aware of it. Because the file is aware of it, you're now aware of it.
Okay.
That you don't know the damage exactly how the Star Destroyer was hit or how bad it was, but it looks like that this part was never really asked for beforehand, and now it's been asked for in bulk.
So something has damaged rather badly their power relay systems.
Yes.
Maybe an overload?
And you don't know the New Order tech, really.
No.
But when you see the description, you can get the full description, all that kind of stuff, and it's very, 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 seamless power relay panels that are overly engineered and look really nice. It's like they're ordering iPhone parts.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, Captain and Citizen, it seems that their power relay systems have been badly damaged. Based off of the part they have tried to acquire from any place that has one across the galaxy, they need a great deal of these. I think this would be an excellent target. It is called a nano-current relay conduit, and they need quite a few of them, it would seem.
Alright. What if we procured some and maybe sabotage the supply chain to make them even more rare?
That might not be a bad idea to extend to your fellow New Republic fleet. If they were more rare, we'd have an even easier time getting in.
Could we put a bug in them? Once they fix their ships with them.
You wish to put an insect inside the power relay conduits?
She wishes to somehow sabotage these Star Destroyers.
Oh, that may be possible, but I would need to get a hold of one in order to tell you that.
I mean, we're trying to get information.
The information you have, it looks like it looks like the edge wing has been removed off of the Star Destroyer, and that across, not quite its belly, but a little off to the side, it has this massive trough that has been burned through the Star Destroyer.
This is very strange damage to a starship. Do you know what happened to the Star Destroyer?
Do we know what happened?
I
mean, out of character, we know
The
Last Jedi happened.
Yeah.
In character, I don't know.
Yeah, out of character, I have a pretty good guess what happened.
I don't believe you do. I think that might be a thing. This. It is very weird damage, and it's pretty cool to see that they've taken this much damage, and you know that a large part of their fleet has taken similar damage. I don't think you know why, though. You do know that this was at the hands of the Resistance.
But we don't know how they did it.
Yeah, you do also... The word on the street is that the Resistance is gone, effectively.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah. So the kind of thing is like they were backed into a corner, and this might have... You're not sure how, but you
in their last gasp.
Yeah.
Do we have a name for this Star Destroyer?
Yes. So, First Order ships are like the Liberator. It's...
How about the Vigilance?
The Vigilance?
Sure.
That sounds very Imperial to me.
How about the Vigil instead of Vigilance?
The Vigil? Okay.
Yeah.
The Vigil. You know?
The Vigil is in the Getz Constructor Station. Alright, so yeah. So you've identified a part.
Alright, so now we just have to find a place to get this thing, right? And then see if you could sabotage them?
Correct.
I mean, there's always Julia's Station.
Yeah, they don't really produce things like this. I mean,
well,
they may have a lead on where we could get them, but
right, they get a lot of things.
Let me check with personnel here and see if they know anything. In the meantime, I'll also talk to General Char about sabotaging the supply chain of these nano current relay conduits as well.
It is at least worth the General knowing that such a thing exists. I suppose we should make sure the Atheon is ready.
That's a good idea.
Sure.
Should I do that, Captain?
Yeah, why don't you and Camiya go take a look at the Atheon?
I have a question, Captain.
Alright.
Where is the Atheon?
I'll take you there.
Excellent. Please lead on, citizen.
Alright. Let me finish my pancakes first.
Flapjacks.
Sorry. I need to finish my star flapjacks. She puts more star maple syrup on them.
They have a mold to pour the flapjacks into, so they're star-shaped.
While you're eating, S4M stares, of course, unblinkingly at you.
With one
from
red eye.
From across the booth. Yes, one red eye, one regular eye.
Cut to the captain! Alright, Remi. So, you go back to the main base.
Yep.
So, the general himself is busy, but you're a high-ranking intelligence officer now. So, you can interact and look things up and stuff like that.
Right, and I mean, really, that's more so what I need. I do need to tell him about, talk to him about, possibly sabotaging the supply chain. But other than that, I can probably find out the rest.
Yeah, you could just send him a report about the supply chain thing.
Yeah, right.
You definitely have the freedom to operate you're allowed to change mission objectives in this level because you're the highest level intelligence officer that they have. So what you find out is that that they don't have a good grip on where these kind of come from, right? Because none of the New Republic worked through some ship creating companies, and they never required a part like this. This kind of part is almost like it's almost future tech for the purposes of just being different. So they don't have a good handle on where it comes from. They do know some places where parts are kind of stockpiled and then are sent out. So they do know a place or two that should have some. But that's not really what you're trying to get at the heart of. And if they're already created, it might be a little harder to sabotage them.
Well, really, by sabotage, I meant destroy.
Oh, okay, well then, yeah.
But I want to... So, like, basically the only ones that would be available are the ones that we would give them.
Also, he wants to create an even higher demand.
Yeah.
Right. I want to create a more... Yeah, exactly, yeah. An increased shortage.
Okay. Yeah, so you don't have great information. You have loose information of places where they can kind of... Like, where warehouses of parts can be, and there might be some.
Yeah, I want to mess up where they're being produced, and then I guess we'll need to go where they're already made. Like, if they have them in storage somewhere, we can go basically, like, steal a bunch or steal some and destroy the rest.
Yeah.
We need to do that, too.
So, if you stay with just the information you have, if you want to act with just the information you have, then you could probably get enough parts to let yourself sneak on. If you want to try and find the place where they're created and then do a sabotage on a bigger scale, then you're going to have to find another place to get that information.
Okay. Do I have any leads on where I could get that information? Like where to look for that information?
I mean, oddly enough, when the New Republic needed a thing or needed information about things that they didn't have their... Like, they didn't have their influence in directly, they came from the Julia space station, so they would have gone to the same place that you guys would go. So, they not necessarily Ushal, but they would have gone to the black market and paid for the information.
Okay. So, but you said we did find out where they're stored.
You know where some are stored. You could probably have you could probably... They gave you a place that's essentially like an Amazon warehouse.
Okay.
So you could find enough to fill a small transport, which should be able to get you in the door, if that's what you wanted to do.
Yeah, I want to do that. I want to do that, too. I want to do that. I want to do both.
You want to do both? Okay.
And did you tell me where they're being stored? Like, do I need to know the location?
There's a planet that's mostly centrally located that operates as a storage facility for goods. The planet is called Yada 4.
Okay.
Yeah, it lives on one of the absolute major hyperspace throughways, and a lot of goods kind of sit there as they are sent out to different places.
Well, that's a start.
Yep.
Okay, so I get the information, then I go back to the Atheon and meet up with the rest of my crew.
Yeah. At which point, I'm sure Camiya has finished and taken S4 over there. Right, so engineering's over here. I don't go in there that much, so hopefully it's got whatever you need.
Some of these pieces are not from the Atheon.
No. So when Cassie found it, the Atheon was very damaged. I get the impression this is a couple of different ships put together. A lot of these pieces are new. It was just repaired a few weeks ago.
New is a relative term.
Well, yeah, I guess so.
Some of these pieces were not designed to... I will see what I can do. One moment, citizen. And S4 will head into the engineering bay and start checking things.
Oh, yeah. There are bits from other ships and different components, and yeah. There actually are pieces from another similar class ship that are taken wholesale. Yeah, because this is kind of actually pieced together from two interceptor class ships.
So S4M will find the internal comm system and plug into it, so I can just talk through the ship. Yeah. If that's okay.
Yeah. Oh, okay. You didn't actually want to go into the comm system. You're like,
No. I just plug myself into the ship.
Okay.
And I'll just talk through the ship's communication system.
Mm-hmm. Okay. That's creepy.
Yes, yeah, kind of.
Today in the lunchroom we'll be serving Star Sloppy Joes. Yeah.
Are you still picking up messages from the CIA? The citizen.
You could just call me Camiya.
This is booming around you in the space.
Yeah.
Yes, the whole ship suddenly says "citizen."
She jumps for a second.
I don't think it's S4M's voice. It's not S4M's normal voice.
I'm not editing it. It is S4's voice.
I'm not. Okay, fine. It's the ship's voice.
Yeah.
No, all right.
Well, she can make an assumption
voice,
based
apparently.
on how she's been called.
It's fine. It could be S4M's voice.
She kind of jumps for a second.
Nobody else calls you citizen.
Yeah, she jumps for a second. You could just call me Camiya.
There's a moment, and then the ship says, "Camiya."
Okay, yeah, what's up?
Please run the pre-flight diagnostics. I need to check something.
Sure thing. She goes and heads over to the pilot's chair and starts booping and pressing buttons and pulling levers and things.
Frizz. I was afraid of that. Shut down the sequence and try again.
Oh, what's wrong with it?
This part was not designed for this.
Ah, okay.
I can fix it, I think.
Right. Okay. She will try again.
Boo 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 boo. Boo 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 boo.
I think I have the sequence running correctly.
Alright. Anything else?
The ship's weapons are wrong. One moment.
Oh. Well, those are definitely new.
Yes. But
Well, except for the one turret.
The forward-firing laser cannons are new. However, the ship's power plant has not been... One moment. Okay, so then S4M is going to spend most of this time making sure all of these hodgepodge systems work as best as they can.
Mm-hmm.
They seem to be functioning, but he's going to start making lists of things he can just fix, if that's acceptable.
Yeah. So what they did was, for the first few sessions, they had 2 black dice. And after they got used to the systems, they only had 1 black die to do anything on the Atheon. So what you've done is you've made it work as normal intended. So the ship will work as shown on its normal stats.
Oh, God. I bet he accidentally turns all the lights red again.
Yes. You do not have a retractable concussion missile launcher, though.
Ah, that is not installed.
No, you have the 2 turrets instead of the...
Right. So S4M continues to talk to Camiya, now calling her Camiya, interesting, and continues to have Camiya run things from the pilot's station. And S4M is going to take as much software update as possible that the New Republic will grant him access to, and run updates on everything on the ship. I think the amusing side problem with all of this running updates is he had to go and find schematics on this old ship, so he tried to put everything back to factory specs so all the lights are red again.
Yep. Remi, as you walk up the cargo ramp, you see all the lights are... the lights actually flip red as you walk up the ramp, and you swear in the back of your head you hear ominous music as you're walking up the ramp. As if
there's also steam coming out of the pneumatic lifts. It didn't used to do that.
You're getting as if there's a camera tight on your feet as you're going up the ramp. You feel very dramatic.
Mm-hmm.
As you walk past the quote unquote ping pong table, it lights up with the full blown Sith Empire symbol, and it's really just the startup music is what you're hearing. is the ominous music.
Well, I was gonna say Camiya's been really bored and she's just been throwing a ball against the wall, but it sounds like this rhythmic, like, deep sound.
S4M will come out of the engineering bay to greet you. But he hasn't turned off the comm system, so he still talks through the ship. Welcome back, Captain.
Oh!
Whoa, that's a little loud.
Remi. Hi.
S4. Can you turn that down?
One moment, Captain. Is this better, Captain?
Yeah, that's better.
When he walks out, he has like an auxiliary cord jammed into his throat. That's how he audio inputs into the
Does he Looney Tunes himself? Like, forgets that it's there and then keeps walking and yoink!
Yoink. There's a tremendous thud as he hits the deck.
Oh.
No, I don't think he'd do that. I have taken the liberty of updating the software. It should all work with each other much better. I have also switched the ship back to factory mode.
Great.
Oh, thank the Force. Hi, Remi.
Hey.
She's not wearing shoes.
So, turns out we do need to go to Julius, to see what we can find out about where these things are being produced. The, Resistance was a little, well, they didn't really know where these things were being made, so...
Should I begin calculating the jump to hyperspace to this Julius station?
Not just yet. I did find a big supply depot. I thought we could go there first and
pick some stuff up there.
Commandeer some of these nanocurrent relay conduits, and then dispose of the rest of them.
Is this the kind of stuff that, like, the New Republic Defense Force needs too? I mean, it's a ship part. I mean, is it kind of a standard thing?
Well, if they did need them, I think they'd know where they were being made.
This seems to have been an aesthetic choice by this First Order. It is not necessary parts. They are specialized, specially designed to fit a specific request of the First Order. The First Order has decided to exclusively use this type of technology over something more mass-produced and functional.
Good.
So, where are we going, Captain?
These parts are being stored in a warehouse on Yata 4.
Yata 4. Very well. Shall I begin calculating the jump to hyperspace to Yata 4?
I think so. Cammy, any objections?
None here. I'm ready to get off Hoban.
Alright, let's do it.
Course laid in.
Oh, I love having a droid around.
Thanks for listening. To make sure you don't miss any big updates, follow us on Facebook at No Match for a Blaster or on Twitter at No Match Podcast. If you enjoyed our show, please leave us a review on iTunes and visit our Patreon at patreon.com/MoralityPlays. No Match for a Blaster is a podcast by Morality Plays. Star Wars, Edge of the Empire, Age of Rebellion, and Force and Destiny are made by Fantasy Flight Games and Lucas Books. Our theme is by Kevin MacLeod. Our sound effects by Tristan Longren, Vindus, and Akmov. And I would like to thank my amazing players. Brandon playing Remi Drobash, Bobby playing Camiya Saris, and Gerald playing S4M3L. And of course I'd like to thank you, our listeners, and we'll see you again soon in a galaxy far, far away.